Hi, kindergartners. It is Mrs. Brousseau here to explore another text set and to do another read aloud with you. So, the text set that we're going to talk about today is called Rhythm and Rhyme Joyful Language. So, all of the books in this text set have a rhythm, and oftentimes they have a lot of rhyming words, or they have it can be the words in the book can be a song instead of just using a regular speaking voice to read them. And in some cases, it's just that the book has a lot of repetitive language. So, phrases that are said again and again and again, so that you can kind of predict what words the author might use, and you can join in when you are listening to somebody read the book to you. So these books with rhythm and rhyme and joyful language are just really fun ones to read and fun to listen to, and they just kind of invite you to join in with the reading and share the reading. So I'm going to talk to you about 4 of the books, and then I'm going to read one of the books. There's 5 books altogether. This one is called Mary Wore Her Red Dress, and this can be a song, and you might have heard it before, but it's in the story. There is a birthday party happening, and each of the friends that shows up is wearing a certain color. Like Mary is wearing a red dress, and another character is wearing green sneakers, and another character is wearing a yellow sweater, and so on. This book is called Over on the Farm, and you might have heard a song or read a book called Over in the Meadow, and this book is based on that song or book, Over in the Meadow, and it, as you go through the book, it has a lot of different farm animals, and there's a mother farm animal, and then the mother has babies, and through the book each mother has one more baby than the mother before her. So the first mother will have 1 baby, and the second mother would have 2, and the third mother would have 3. So it's kind of a counting book too, and the author also includes the animal sounds that those animals make in the story as well. This one is called When It Starts to Snow, and it goes through the book where we find out what each of the animals in the book does when it starts to snow, and if they have a home that they go into, or what they do when it starts to snow. So the book that we're going to read, there's one more. This one is called Sleepy Bears, and it's about a mother bear and all of her baby bears, and it's bedtime, and so each time one of the babies gets tired, the mother kind of talks to them about something that they could imagine, like a place they could be. In one case, she talks to one of her children about him being a pirate and what kind of pirate adventures he might have. So it makes me think that that's what they will dream about when they finally fall asleep. The one that we're going to read is called The Doorbell Rang. This is one of my favorites. The Doorbell Rang is by Pat Hutchins, and in this book, Ma baked some cookies for her kids, and they divided them up equally. There were only 2 kids. They divided the cookies equally and were prepared to eat the cookies when the doorbell rang, and some friends showed up. So then they divided the cookies again equally, and you guessed it, just as they were about to eat, the doorbell rang. So it goes through the story with the predictable doorbell ringing each time they're about to bake the cookies, or about to eat the cookies. And it also has some predictable phrases. So you'll notice that the same words come up again and again, and you might be able to guess when I'm about ready to say those words, and you could join in with me and say them with me. Okay? I've made some cookies for tea, said Ma. Good, said Victoria and Sam. We're starving. Share them between yourselves, said Ma. I made plenty. That's 6 each, said Sam and Victoria. They look as good as Grandma's, said Victoria. They smell as good as Grandma's, said Sam. No one makes cookies like Grandma, said Ma, as the doorbell rang. It was Tom and Hannah from next door. Come in, said Ma. You can share the cookies. That's 3 each, said Sam and Victoria. They smell as good as your grandma's, said Tom. And look as good, said Hannah. No one makes cookies like Grandma, said Ma, as the doorbell rang. Did you notice that repeat of someone saying they smell as good as Grandma's and someone saying they look as good as Grandma's? And then Ma said, no one makes cookies like Grandma. And what happened? The doorbell rang. I wonder who it is now. Oh, it was Peter and his little brother. Come in, said Ma. You can share the cookies. That's 2 each, said Victoria and Sam. They look as good as your grandma's, said Peter, and smell as good. Nobody makes cookies like Grandma, said Ma, as the doorbell rang. It was Joy and Simon with their 4 cousins. So how many people just showed up? Joy and Simon and 4 cousins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 people just showed up. Oh my goodness. Come in, said Ma. You can share the cookies. That's 1 each, said Sam and Victoria. Oh, so Sam and Victoria at the beginning of the story, they had 6 each. And now they have 1 each. But look, they're so happy to be sharing with all their friends. That's so nice of them. They smell as good as your grandma's, said Joy. And look as good too, said Simon. No one makes cookies like Grandma, said Ma, as the doorbell rang. Oh no, what will they do if more people show up? Right now, everyone has 1 cookie. And the doorbell rang. What would you do? You think for a second about how they could solve the problem. If more people come, should they share the cookies? How could they do that? It said, and as the doorbell rang, and then this page says, and rang. So I guess they didn't answer right away. They must be thinking about what they're going to do if someone else is there to share the cookies. Oh dear, said Ma, as the children stared at the cookies on their plates. Perhaps you'd better eat them before we open the door? That's one way they could solve this problem, right? But guess what Sam said? We'll wait. Wow, that was nice. Very nice. It was Grandma. Oh, what do we know about Grandma? I know we read over and over and over again that she bakes the best cookies. It was Grandma with an enormous plate of cookies. How nice to have so many friends to share them with, said Grandma. It's a good thing I made a lot. And no one makes cookies like Grandma, said Ma as the doorbell rang. So that pattern in the book just keeps on going. I wonder who's at the door this time. At least they have lots of cookies to share now. All right, well, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed listening to that story that had a lot of repeated phrases and hopefully that helped you to get involved in the story and enjoy it even more. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.